The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade is brought to you in part by Markel's Beauty Salon. See Markel's Beauty Salon on East Gain Street in Dublin, Rhonda Stanley Wells, for mobile makeovers and more. Markel's Beauty Salon, 478-998-7074. Markel's, keeping the dream alive.
Good afternoon. We are live in downtown Dublin for the 21st annual Martin Luther King Holiday Parade. Standing with me is my great co-host for so many years, the one and only Monique McCall Blue. What's up?
Nothing's going on. I'm just
Another
glad to be
year.
here. Yes.
Another year. So what's been going on in your world?
Been working hard.
Working hard.
Yes.
Yes. So we are looking forward to a great parade. They have done an outstanding job once again in downtown Dublin with the King Holiday Parade. And we've got some tributes we're going to be doing. And the people are lining up. And the weather is great.
It's great.
It is great. What's your word for 2015 this year?
Expectation.
Expectation.
Yes.
And mine is success. And with the things that are going on in the world, it's a time to think positive.
It is.
And a time to reflect. And it's a time for change, wouldn't you say?
It is.
So what was one thing you would tell young people about Dr. King and what to get ready for in 2015?
Dr. King was a soldier, marched strong, marched proudly, and if they could emulate any part of his character, they would certainly find success in this world. Good afternoon. I'm Monique McCall Blue, co-host of this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, and I'm here in downtown Dublin with Miss Tiana Williams, who's a junior at Dublin High School. How are you today, Tiana?
I'm fine.
Tiana was one of my former students. Let's see how well she articulates. Tiana, what are some of your extracurricular activities at Dublin High School?
I play basketball and run track.
Okay, now how do you plan to spend this year's King holiday?
I'm going to reflect on the things that Martin Luther King did and be thankful that he helped us to be what we are today.
I think that was an outstanding answer for a high school junior. Thank you, Tiana.
You're welcome.
I'm here in downtown Dublin with Mrs. Alicia Edmond Fields. Mrs. Fields, tell me what you do for a living.
Hey, Monique. I am a 6th grade social studies teacher at Dublin Middle School.
That's great. Now tell me how you plan to spend your King holiday.
This is the first thing to kick off the Martin Luther King holiday is being here at the Martin Luther King holiday downtown Dublin. I have 3 children that are involved in the Martin Luther King holiday. 2 little girls that's cheering for Hillcrest Elementary, and my oldest daughter who is a dancing diva.
Great. Now tell me what the King holiday means to you.
Martin Luther King he was a martyr. He set the stage for us having to be able to be in this situation, getting freedoms and having rights, and just being able to love each other, not by the content of our character, but by the color of our skin.
Great. Thank you so much for being interviewed today. I'm here with a young man whom I don't know. Let's get him to introduce himself to us. Tell me your name.
Cameron Robinson,
Cameron, where do you go to school?
West Lawrence Middle School,
And what grade are you in?
6.
6th grade. So how's middle school going for you?
It's good so far.
That's good. Now tell me, Cameron, what do you know about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
I know Martin Luther King was a man that fought for African American rights.
That's a great answer. Are you learning about Dr. King in school?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. I want you to make sure that you value your education, just like Dr. King did his, and that you make a great success of your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Cameron.
Okay.
Okay, so it's official. The 21st annual King Holiday Parade has begun. As you see coming down the street, the customary kickoff, the one and only.
Dublin City Police Department.
And our chief is Wayne Kane.
Yes, he is, and he will be coming by just in a few minutes. Let us watch and listen as our Dublin's finest enters the parade.
And since it's so many sirens, we'll go ahead and let you know the Lawrence County Sheriff is going to be in that mix. East Dublin Police Department is going to be in that mix. And I believe I see the fire department, too.
Yes, you do.
we are happy to have our new director here with us and our new cameraman, but we want to say to James Deal, we are so missing you because we just don't know what to do. We're not used to not having James Deal here with us.
We're not. We miss our team leader.
Yes. No pun intended to you. So why don't you tell them your name? I know you don't want to talk, but you're going to tell them your name anyway.
My name's Cameron Evans. I worked here at TV 35 about 2-3 years ago.
Well, welcome to the King Holiday Parade.
Thank you.
What does the King Holiday mean to you?
Just glad to celebrate Black History Month.
All right. Well, good enough. And this year, I think the lineup is incredible. I saw signs for the people lining up all the way down 441 South, Telfair Street, whatever you want to call it, all the way to the So Fresh and So Clean car wash. I've never seen lineup that long.
No, this year we have 136 entries listed, and we're excited about this year's parade.
And sometimes there are more entrants than the ones that are listed. So we got 136 on the actual listing, but it could be about 20 more. So I'm sure we're in for some surprises today.
Yes, we are. Approaching is the Dublin High School Color Guard, who's part of our JROTC program. Fine group of disciplined students who come to school one day a week dressed in uniform, and they look really good that day of uniform day.
And I'm sure that coming in uniform one day a week, that builds character and responsibility about their future.
It does, and they're encouraged to display positive character, and they're good role models for our students. They're always caught being good.
It's the military ball king and queen from Dublin High School.
Yes, Jeremy Johnson and Sheree Bostic.
And Monique, you have the pleasure of introducing our Grand Marshal.
Yes, our Grand Marshal for the parade is Lieutenant Colonel Vincent T. O'Neill, who is a native of Dublin, Georgia.
And we definitely know Vincent O'Neill. We grew up with him and went to school with him. So I was very, very surprised when I saw him earlier. He didn't exactly know who I was. I didn't exactly know who he was until we both pulled our shades off. And
I had to look into your eyes.
he was like, Derek. I was like, Vince.
And coming up are our honorary escorts, Reverend James and Mrs. Laura Travick. And Reverend Travick is the pastor of New Hope Baptist Church. Mrs. Travick is a retired educator and serves on the Dublin City Board of Education.
A lifetime of community service for both of them.
Next, we have our SCLC president and SCLC vice chairman, Mr. James Holder.
And James Holder, every year he calls just to make sure I'm going to be here no matter where I am. I'm like, if you don't see me, don't worry about it. I'll be there.
Well, he calls you, and this lady right here calls me, Mrs. Laura K. Irwin, who's the co-chair of the MLK Parade.
Then we have the Black Festival Committee for Dublin Lawrence County, the chairperson and the vice chairperson. That's Fran Wells-Webb and Richard Nesbitt in that vehicle.
Coming up is our magistrate judge, Judge Tommy Bobbitt.
I tell you what, Tommy Bobbitt loves to come out in these Corvettes and all these sports cars every year. He's going to have a sporty car for you, I tell you.
He does.
Then we have our Dublin City Judge, Harold McClendon. And this man loves to walk, no matter what.
This is our district attorney, Mr. Craig Frazier.
Craig Frazier.
Have you ever heard him play a piano?
Never.
He's excellent. And he's followed by our Lawrence County Clerk of Courts, Miss Jackie Dalton.
Jackie Dalton. And then we have our City of Dublin Mayor, the one and only one of the coolest mayors I know. Mayor Feel Best.
He'd be interested to know that his name was the answer to a test I gave last week.
Oh, was it?
It was.
Let me hold that. I'm going to ask him about that. Follow me. Feel Best, Mayor Best. Did you know that your name was the answer to a question to a test at Dublin High School last week?
No, sir.
You can thank. Did they pass the test? They passed the test. Then we have our City of Dublin Councilwoman, the Council Hall of Fame, Legislative Hall of Fame, Julie Drigger. It's my other mom right there.
All right.
Mama J.
And upcoming next, we have our Lawrence County Board of Commissioners.
And that's the one and only.
Mr. Roscoe Brower.
I got to say this. The greatest role model of all time, Roscoe Brower.
Yes, he is. Dublin City Councilman, Mr. Gary Johnson.
Then we have our Dublin City Council, Mr. Jerry Davis. Where'd you get that ride clean at? East Dublin Mayor George Gointo and the City Council.
The Lawrence County Board of Education, where the superintendent is Dr. Rob Johnson. And Dublin City Schools Board of Education, these are the people I work for. Reverend Richard Sheffield, Dr. Fred Williams, Mrs. Peggy Johnson, and Mrs. Demetris Hollis.
Accidents happen. That's why State Farm agent Dale Nifong and his team are dedicated to getting your car fixed and back on the road as soon as possible. It's just part of being there. Call or visit Dale today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the East Dublin Mayor, Mr. George Gointo.
And East Dublin Councilman, who's coming up next in a sporty 350, is Braxton Brown Jr. I like that car.
I do too.
Now this banner I get a picture of every year.
That is the official banner for the Dublin Lawrence Martin Luther King Parade.
Speaking of banners, we got something to say about a banner a little later on. It's our backdrop today, courtesy of services by Dudley, the Dudley Funeral Home. Here is the Emerald Business and Professional Women's Club, Incorporated, lifting as we climb.
You see Mrs. Bernice T. Myers there.
Bernice Myers with the blue hat.
Yes, they're being driven by Mr. Richard Hughes.
Then we have Cash Row Tax Services, e-filing, credit repair, and bookkeeping at 409 Telfair Street.
And they are followed by the Citywide Mission, which is a group of churches that meet every first Sunday, and they are a community organized group that always raises money to give back to the community.
Lady J. McBride. Hello, darling.
Followed by an excellent daycare, Kids Kingdom.
Miss Barbara.
Owned and operated by Miss Barbara Martin. Growing in God's grace, persevering through God's faith, serving in God's love. Keep the legacy. Kids Kingdom. Coming up next, we have Simmons Street Neighborhood Watch.
Oh, that's my neighborhood watch. Let me stop this truck right here. Stop the truck, stop the truck, stop the truck. We are live on TV 35, Simmons Street Neighborhood Watch. This is my hood, ladies and gentlemen. Betty Lou Denson, Vice President, Brother Ray, the President, Mama Dovey back here, and Sister Holder back here. We got the whole Simmons Street. What is so great about King's Day? What should people know?
To love everybody.
Love everybody. You got it, Simmons Street.
Up next, we've got Green Grove Missionary African Baptist Church, where the Reverend Milton H. Hughes is pastor. And Green Grove has a new home.
Oh, yes, a beautiful home.
Yes.
The former sanctuary. And wonderful church. I love to go here, Pastor Hughes preach.
Mount Tilla Baptist Church, winning souls for the kingdom of God.
Now, I've been told all 3 of my grandkids are in the parade this year. And I don't want to lose my cool when they come up, so I'm going to...
I'll try and hold you back.
Myself together real quick. My daughter tells me all the time, you lose your cool, Dad.
We all do about our grandchildren.
It's the Southside Community Association Incorporated coming through. Oh, and I hear the sound of a great band coming down the street.
Of course you do.
Southside Community Association, they're doing great things in Southside.
They are.
I'm telling you, all the improvements you see, they're pushing for it. They're making it happen. Holly Grove Church, Prophet Joshua Battle is the pastor. We want to thank them for the candy they're throwing and hitting us across the head. We appreciate it. We got to hold mics and cameras, and we can't even stop it, but we appreciate it.
We have the Dublin Lawrence Miss Black Festival Queen and her court.
SCLC, a legacy of excellence, spirit, and pride through nonviolence. I tell you what, these little young people coming up, they're showing out already. It's Hillcrest Elementary School. Now, as I was saying about the wonderful banner backdrop behind us. Let me move this camera up on it. As we were saying about our backdrop, this banner is an official banner from the Martin Luther King Center for Social Change and Nonviolence out of Atlanta. And it is sponsored by Services by Dudley, better known as the Dudley Funeral Home. And we want to thank them for this wonderful banner. And you'll see it again at the King Breakfast on Monday. But every year, they get the official banner and donate it to the city of Dublin.
It's a great opportunity.
Coming up, Hillcrest Elementary.
The Leap School. I believe their coach is Miss Lakia Rozier.
Outstanding. Anytime young people are doing something, outstanding. Talk about taking their 15 minutes of fame. Go ahead.
They have to. Let them have it.
Miller Soul Food. Woo, I'm hungry just thinking about it. The oldest restaurant in town, 115 South Lawrence Street.
Followed by Miller's Country Club and Miller's Country Store.
Then we have Howard Chapel United Methodist Church.
And Howard Chapel has a new pastor. We'd like to welcome him to the community of Dublin.
Absolutely. And we're going to stop talking for a second and let you enjoy the Dublin High School Fighting Irish Marching Band.
Passing by is Dublin High School's homecoming king and queen. Miss Akivia Blue is the queen and Mr. KJ Kinsey is the king. Following Dublin High School is Buckeye Baptist Church.
Tell you what, Dublin High School just rocked it. That's my alma mater. I'll just go ahead and admit I have 2 bricks I just picked up this morning from out there. I sure did.
The Prince Hall Grand Chapter, Order of Eastern Star Jurisdiction of Georgia.
Figured they didn't want those good bricks to go to waste.
Of course not.
Then we have the Prince Hall Grand Chapter, Dublin District number 19. We have the Spring Hill Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor and First Lady McLeod. It's the Citizen of the Year.
And that is Mrs. Zelene Sermons.
Then we have up from the city that I'm living in now, Savannah State University National Alumni Association.
Miss Kessler Holder is the driver of that beautiful car.
Speaking of, Monique, did you know I was in Savannah, Georgia now?
I did.
I didn't want to toot my own horn, but I am with Cumulus Broadcasting in Savannah, Georgia now. E93 and Magic 103.9. A lot of people want to know really where I am, so I'm not ego tripping here. I'm just telling everybody at one time, no, I'm not in Dublin.
So now you know where to find
but I'm
Derek.
in Dublin. 18 years in this parade, and what are you, 15, 16? 16 years we've been doing this parade, and we are happy to be here every year, no matter where we are. We can make it, we're going to be here.
Exactly. Now we have the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Miss Crimson and Cream Queens. The wee miss is Miss Desani Whipple, petite miss Kaden Hope, little miss Aruna Woodard, and Miss Crimson and Cream Zykeria Carswell.
And let me tell you.
She is in my first period class.
Is she?
Yes.
But look at this float. It's outstanding.
They've done a great job with it. Followed by the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta and the Delta Gems.
Speaking of deltas, you know the show Sorority Sisters got yanked off the air.
It should have.
The deltas and the AKAs were not having that, right?
No.
Next we have June's Laundry Basket. They're here every single year, giving back to the community.
And A.B. Salter is the owner. It's located at 1503 Telfair Street.
And we have the Greater New Friendship Baptist Church.
Where their pastor Reverend Roger Edwards.
Yep.
And Greater New Friendship is followed by Sandy Ford Missionary Baptist, where their pastor is the Reverend Darrell K. Moore. Representing today, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Pi Eta Lambda Chapter. We can certainly hear a band approaching in the background, and we are grateful for today's weather.
Perfect filming weather.
Yeah. Coming through downtown Dublin, Kingdom Living Church, where the Reverend Tyrone Turner is pastor, followed by the Millville High School Alumni Association. And their queen is riding in the back. Next up, we've got Bird Hill Baptist Church, where their pastor is Reverend Warren Harris Sr., keeping the dream alive. If you need a party bus, call Roll with Royce.
This is Rolling with Royce out of the MacTown in Dublin. Hello, Royce.
Hi, DC.
I've known this young lady for a long time.
I did. It's good to be out here today on Martin Luther King Day.
What does it mean to you?
It means a whole lot to me. Left Free to Ring. I saw that Selma movie, so I figured out how it all went down.
All right.
Yeah. Good to see you, Dublin.
Please enjoy the East Lawrence High School Band of Gold.
Is it me or the students look like they're becoming midgets? It's much smaller.
That group is a little small compared to what I'm used to.
I mean, I'm only 5'5", but I think I'm taller than everybody in that band.
Pretty much, and I'm only 5'2", so I know I'm not that tall.
Oh, yeah, you fit right in with them.
I do. That Falcon's got a lot of spirit, doesn't he? This is the drum line of East Lawrence High School.
I tell you what, Monique, I think you becoming too popular with the parade because these bands are stopping in front of us. They should go a few more feet down to the grandstand, but when they see you, the band stops here. I kind of like that, too. I get a chance to get ringside pictures, you know.
Exactly. It's working to your advantage.
Tax Time America has been bringing customers all their credits for more than 15 years. Tax Time America has provided our community with friendly, professional tax preparation and is always up to date on IRS rules and regulations and on the Affordable Care Act. Depend on Tax Time America, an authorized e-file provider, registered tax preparer, and a member of the Associated Tax Professionals. Tax Time America brings experience and ethical practices to you with no out-of-pocket fees, refund anticipation checks within 7 to 14 days. Tax Time America Income Tax Service, located at 103 High Street, across from Max Brown Pharmacy next to Urban Gear. Call 274-8181. Trust the experienced professionals at Tax Time America Income Tax Service to use their experience to get you the maximum refunds, bringing customers all their credits for more than 15 years.
I'll just go ahead and admit I have 2 bricks I just picked up this morning from out there. I sure did.
The Prince Hall Grand Chapter, Order of Eastern Star Jurisdiction of Georgia.
Figured they didn't want those good bricks to go to waste.
Of course not.
Then we have the Prince Hall Grand Chapter, Dublin District number 19. We have the Spring Hill Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor and First Lady McLeod. It's the Citizen of the Year.
And that is Mrs. Zelene Sermons.
Then we have up from the city that I'm living in now, Savannah State University National Alumni Association.
Miss Kessler Holder is the driver of that beautiful car.
Speaking of, Monique, did you know I was in Savannah, Georgia now?
I did.
I didn't want to toot my own horn, but I am with Cumulus Broadcasting in Savannah, Georgia now. E93 and Magic 103.9. A lot of people want to know really where I am, so I'm not ego tripping here. I'm just telling everybody at one time, no, I'm not in Dublin.
So now you know where to find
but I'm
Derek.
in Dublin. 18 years in this parade, and what are you, 15, 16? Mm-hmm. 16 years we've been doing this parade, and we are happy to be here every year, no matter where we are. We can make it, we're going to be here.
Exactly. Now we have the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Miss Crimson and Cream Queens. The wee miss is Miss Desani Whipple, petite miss Kaden Hope, little miss Aruna Woodard, and Miss Crimson and Cream Zykeria Carswell.
And let me tell you.
She is in my first period class.
Is she?
Yes.
But look at this float. It's outstanding.
They've done a great job with it. Followed by the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta and the Delta Gems.
Speaking of Deltas, you know the show Sorority Sisters got yanked off the air.
It should have.
The Deltas and the AKAs were not having that, right?
No.
Next we have June's Laundry Basket. They're here every single year giving back to the community.
And A.B. Salter is the owner. It's located at 1503 Telfair Street.
And we have the Greater New Friendship Baptist Church.
Where their pastor Reverend Roger Edwards.
Yep.
And Greater New Friendship is followed by Sandy Ford Missionary Baptist, where their pastor is the Reverend Darrell K. Moore. Representing today, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Pi Eta Lambda Chapter. We can certainly hear a band approaching in the background, and we are grateful for today's weather.
Perfect filming weather.
Yeah. Coming through downtown Dublin, Kingdom Living Church, where the Reverend Tyrone Turner is pastor, followed by the Millville High School Alumni Association. And their queen is riding in the back. Next up, we've got Bird Hill Baptist Church, where their pastor is Reverend Warren Harris Sr., keeping the dream alive. If you need a party bus, call Roll with Royce.
This is Rolling with Royce out of the MacTown and Dublin. Hello, Royce.
Hi, DC.
I've known this young lady for a long time.
I did. It's good to be out here today on Martin Luther King Day.
What does it mean to you?
It means a whole lot to me. Let Free the Ring. I saw that Selma movie, so I figured out how it all went down.
All right.
Yeah. Good to see you, Dublin.
Please enjoy the East Lawrence High School Band of Gold.
Is it me or the students look like they're becoming midgets? It's much smaller.
That group is a little small compared to what I'm used to.
I mean, I'm only 5'5", but I think I'm taller than everybody in that band.
Pretty much, and I'm only 5'2", so I know I'm not that tall.
Oh, yeah, you fit right in with them.
I do. That Falcon's got a lot of spirit, doesn't he? This is the drum line of East Lawrence High School.
I tell you what, Monique, I think you becoming too popular with the parade because these vans are stopping in front of us. They should go a few more feet down to the grandstand, but when they see you, the band stops here. I kind of like that, too. I get a chance to get ringside pictures, you know.
Exactly. It's working to your advantage. Following East Lawrence High School is our student driver truck from Oconee Fall Line Technical College.
I tell you what, if you want a career and you can't seem to think you can get one, go drive trucks. They're making a lot of money and gas is cheap right now.
It certainly is. I hope it stays that way.
Okay, next up, we have the Greater New Evergreen Baptist Church. Reverend Michael Kirkland is the pastor. I like that avalanche.
I do too.
Oh, and I like that van too. They're
Yes.
doing something over there at
They're
Greater
doing
New
something
Evergreen.
right.
Look at that. Might catch a ride.
Not just yet.
Might need to borrow that for one of those Nick Brandon tours. Well, they might not let me do that, but
Probably not. It's a
put
church
a new little
bus.
sign on it. Yeah.
Coming up is the 2014 Black Festival Community Committee Woman of the Year.
And that's Carolyn Edwards in there. And next is the Turkey Creek Missionary Baptist Church. You know, they're over there on Scotland Road in Dublin. Dr. Frederick C. Williams is the pastor. Somebody's hollering out, "Hey, Monique."
Yes, that would be Mr. Richard Baker.
I mean, I'm getting no love this year.
I'm sorry.
What's up?
And these are the ladies of the Unique Progressive Society, whose theme is Lifting as We Climb. And representing the ladies are Mrs. Margaret Paldo and Mrs. Doris Allen.
I tell you what, if it's going to be like this the rest of the parade and everybody's hollering out your name, I am not signing my contract next year.
Yes, you are. We come as a package deal.
Next up is the Williams Chapel Baptist Church. Reverend James Sherman and First Lady Bertha Sherman. East Dublin. Tell you, Williams Chapel has a lot going on with the youth over there. A lot of great things as you see. The youth are just excited over there. I went over there once, and my grandson is in the choir. And talking about an exciting young, I'm talking about little kids choir, just incredible.
We're teaching them early.
Next up is the Living Faith Baptist Church,
where the pastor is Reverend Jamie T. Polk.
Jamie T. Polk, First Lady Rhonda Polk. Good friends of both of ours.
Yes.
There you see Josephine Howard in front and Carl Key.
Coming up are the men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. See Mr. Shelley Stroman on that float.
Next up looks like the Dublin Housing Authority.
They've done an excellent job with this float.
Incredible. Look at Dr. King up there, the young man. Incredible, incredible. He looks like he's pondering his next speech.
He does.
He's saying, I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land.
Coming up next is Warren Grove Apostolic Faith Incorporated, where Bishop Harrison Jones is the pastor. Bishop Isaiah Brown, pastor and founder, and Pastor Joanne Rawls is the Holy Divine.
I'm glad you said that name because I can't pronounce that word, and I was going to make a fool out of myself.
I won't let you do that.
Next, we have the Warren Grove Holiness Church, Pastor Bishop Harrison, and elect lady Willa T. Jones. And another great entry there.
That took a lot of work.
Here we have Dublin, West Lawrence High School. I'm so sorry. She's going to kill me. Homecoming Queen.
And the Queen is followed by the Raider Brigade. And the Raider Brigade is under the direction of Mr. Michael Dukes. Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Good
How are
to see
things
you.
at West Lawrence High School?
Oh, bleeding blue and proud of it.
I know you are.
We're having a great time.
Tell me what the King Holiday means to you, Michael.
Oh, it means togetherness in the community. We get to celebrate and have a good time.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
we're making
you.
some music and have some fun. How
You're
about
doing
that?
a great job.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you, baby.
Okay, TV wife, you were making me jealous. You were going a little bit too long for that interview.
I'm so sorry. I'm back now.
And this is the West Lawrence High School Marching Band, another outstanding band. So glad to have them in the parade. It's great when the local bands are in the parade.
It is. Gives our community a renewed sense of pride. I see my niece and nephew there, Devonna and Thomas Watson, carrying those trombones. Coming up next is White's Well Drilling Company, located in East Dublin, Georgia.
And immediately following them, it's the Greater Strawberry AME Church. Reverend Lula Riley is the pastor. I tell you what, I want to commend West Lawrence Band. They came strong. That was a strong unit.
And that goes back to their leadership. Oconee High School, National Alumni Association Incorporated, 1952 to 1970. Class of 1953 represented Forever Trojans.
I tell you what, Oconee High School may not be here in the building anymore, except pieces, but the alumni chapter, they are strong. All classes strong. It makes me wish I could have gone there at least 1 year, hear all the stories that my mom and my aunts talked about and all the people that we knew and grew up under.
That was always my dream, to be a dancer for the Oconee High School Band.
I always tell the story how Roscoe Brower took me through the school when it was in ruins. And we went through the entire school and he told me stories about each of the classrooms, and it was just an incredible experience for me. I think he thought I was a little crazy when I kept asking him, come on, take me over there, Mr. Brower.
Yeah, I wanted
He's
to
like,
know
I'm
what
going to
you
do it, but
wanted
don't you
to
tell
see.
you through all this old raggedy school. I said, I won't tell her. I told everybody.
Of course you did. You just did.
That's why he's the greatest role model of all time. Oconee High School Alumni Chapter of 1964. I do like that year. I'm not going to tell you why, but it's just a great year.
I can only imagine.
Anything else is rumor about that year.
Yeah.
Here's the class of 1965. Class of 1966.
We all may need to borrow money from time to time. In today's market, it's vital to find a lender who can give you the greatest number of options. Here at Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, we can give you the credit options you deserve. You will receive one-on-one service from a helpful lender. Whether it's building your dream home or buying your first car, we'll work with you in every way we can. Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County offers the latest technology in the banking industry. We're putting common sense banking into practice every day. Come visit us soon and you'll see why Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County is the bank that service built.
You know, so many classes of the Oconee High School alumni, they're kind of breezing through. We have to catch them real quick. 67. Common sense would say they're in line, but it may skip a year on us. Who knows?
Right.
I believe that's Gladine White I saw in the 67 class. Class of 1968.
That's Miss Barbara Dixon in the class of 68.
Class of 1969. That's Guynell Ellington.
The class of 1970.
And that, I would say, would be the last class of Oconee. Then they have a joint first class of integration that's going to be coming up. The Oconee Dublin High School class of 1971, drum major for justice. That class signifies integration.
It does. And they are followed by the Lamar County High School Band out of Barnesville, Georgia. Trojan Pride Marching Band. I believe this is the first year that Lamar County Band has been here.
Next up, we have the Mamie Plummer Women's Missionary Society, Reverend
Nathanielville, that's New Bethel AME Church.
And that looked like Julia Plummer in the front seat.
It was.
And here's R.L. Plummer Enterprises, which is the other side of Julia Plummer, R.L. Okay, now why is there a siren going off in the middle of the parade?
I believe this will be the VA
I
police.
I had got caught up with something, but okay.
Plummer
Everything's
Square
safe.
Reception Hall, the Plum Room, located in East Dublin, Georgia. You hear the sirens from the VA police. And today, as always, we salute our veterans.
Absolutely, they deserve sirens. Should stand at attention and thank them for their service, for the many years that they've done it, and the years ago it was all for us and our freedoms.
Next, we have TAGS Educational Service, located at 111 South Monroe Street, owned and operated by Tony Marie Sampson, offering remediation and tutorial services to students ages 16 through 24 for GED classes and kindergarten through college for tutorial. Next up, we've got St. Galilee Baptist Church in Wrightsville, Georgia, where the pastor is Reverend Marquis Harden.
That was another tongue twister for me, so I was silent on that. That's why
Thanks a lot.
I nudged you. I let you flub the lines.
I've got it.
I would have been Galileo.
Now, I know this young lady. This is Miss Destiny Martin, who's the Dublin-Lawrence County Black Festival Community Committee Youth of the Year, and she is a freshman at Valdosta State University.
Incredible. Anytime our youth can be doing great things.
And she always does.
Live at the King Holiday Parade. Okay. We are live at the 21st Annual King Holiday Parade. These gentlemen, I'm so proud to stand with them. I used to manage them back in the 80s and the 90s. They went by a group called the Private Boys. And here we are some 25 years later. Don't they look wonderful? Your names, please.
Tommy Walker.
Lorenzo Guy.
What does the King Holiday mean to you guys?
Well, basically, watching the people of Dublin coming together, you know, to support Martin Luther King, who supported all of us on this movement. It's a great thing.
And you, sir?
It's a beautiful thing to see our people, you know, out and about. And, you know, Dr. King, he represented, you know, unity and peace. And it means the world to me.
Now, here's the big test. You guys still got those vocal pipes?
We're going to try.
Let's see a little something.
We're the private boys. Oh, yeah.
And they still got it.
Our love will last forever, girl.
And there are two more members that are not here today. And who we have?
Jerry Coley.
And Benjamin Robinson.
Right. And actually, believe it or not, I actually sang with them in one particular song at a church, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, it is.
People don't know DC got vocals.
Yeah, DC got vocals for real.
Yeah.
Stuff on the back here. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming by and stopping to us. Always good to see you. Love you both.
Love you too.
All right. And we're back to the parade right now.
Approaching is a dance team, the Dynamic Queens of Dance. As a queen, we are to provide, develop, and uphold the dance team spirit to encourage a sense of good sportsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dynamics Dance Queens of Dance.
Okay, now this group, who was it founded by?
I'm not sure. I see some familiar faces in the group, though. I see Miss Tony Williams, Miss Takiera Fluellen.
Okay, that's my boy Travis. He's supposed to give me a ride on the motorcycle, so I'll be right back.
You hear the rumbling of the street soldiers.
All right. Great motorcycle group. Next up, we have Eve's Daughter Incorporated. Eve's Daughter is an entity that strives to strengthen communities inside out through providing the family unit with awareness and resources based upon their 3 E's principles of empowerment, encouragement, and education to combat teenage pregnancy. Great organization. Next up, we have the NAACP Dublin Lawrence chapter, Mary Howard, the president. Well, actually, that's John Battle, the president of the Dodge County branch NAACP. You know, sometimes they get a little, sometimes out of order. So it's pretty good this year. That's the first one.
It has been.
Yeah, pretty good. Now we have the Dublin Lawrence County NAACP unit, 5195. President, there's Mary Howard. Sharp hat.
It is. If I wore hats, I'd wear that one. This is the Cochran-Bleckley chapter of the NAACP.
Some of the entries I'm seeing is the first time this year.
Yes, there are. This is the first time we've seen Cochran-Bleckley chapter.
Next, we have the St. Paul AME Church,
which happens to be my church, and the pastor is Reverend Leonie Smith. And representing us today, we have our pastor, Brother Richard Moore, our Woman of the Year, Mrs. Sita Moore, and our pastor's wife, Mrs. Clarissa Smith. Hello, St. Paul AME Church.
Hey.
How is my pastor?
All right. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you proud to be here today, Pastor?
Very proud.
And I'm grateful to have my pastor here. This is Reverend Leonie Smith of the St. Paul AME Church. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Next up, we've got a new dance team to Dublin, the Dancing Divas. This group consists of young women from the Dublin-Lawrence County area. The team promotes high self-esteem, academic achievement, determination, the importance of health, and community involvement. Their motto is work hard, stay positive, and have fun while doing it in a tasteful manner. The Dancing Divas.
I tell you what, Monique, I know you hate it when I do this, but they are great dancers. But I remember the days when you used to tear up the floor at the Agricultural Center. That's how far back.
That was supposed to be a secret.
Don't let her fool y'all. Monique McCall Blue was a great, and probably still is a great dancer. All those years you worked with cheerleaders and putting them in step and in rhythm and getting them going. I mean, it's just great talent.
It is, and it's a God-given talent, which I certainly enjoy. Next up, we have the City of Dublin Police Department. We are one community. The Dublin Police Department is committed to community policing, to seeking better ways of educating our youth and maintaining the safety of our citizens through a collaborative effort.
And who is that guy?
I believe that guy's your brother.
That's the Assistant Police Chief, Tim Chapman, and Verlinda Chapman, who is also employed there at the city. Incredible what's coming in.
That is nice.
That's Public Works.
I like the sign, take it back, our community.
And you know, when we say that, we mean it. Take it back. Take back our community.
Right.
Next up is 107.9 Jams. Alan Robinson and Gabby in there. I'll go hijack this van.
And they're followed by Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church, where the Reverend Willie Edmond is pastor. There's his wife, Mrs. Gwendolyn Edmond. Next up, we have Crown and Glory Salon.
Incredible lineup this year, just incredible. So many entries. And you know, one of the things I like about it is people are excited about participating in the King Holiday Parade. And we want to send our gratitude out to the people who put this on, the coordinators of this parade every single year.
The Auxiliary and Vets Post 62 president.
And that was LH and Eva Jean Wright. Next, we have the New Hope Baptist Church,
where the Reverend James Travick is pastor.
All right.
Now, this is a new entry this year.
Yeah.
Off the Chain Tailgaters Club.
That's right. I think they go to all the Falcon games and tailgate.
I'm sure they have a large time.
I need to find out where that party is. Oh, there's Sammy Holloman. Next is the East Dublin Garden Club. They were founded in 1974.
We have the First African Baptist Church located here in Dublin, Georgia, where the Reverend Keith Anderson is pastor. There's a little bit of history there in First African Baptist, Derek.
Absolutely. First African Baptist Church here in Dublin. People don't know this great fact. Dr. King delivered his very first public speech at 14 years of age at the First African Baptist Church. So you all call the church, get a tour, go and take pictures, let the world know it all happened right here in Dublin, Georgia.
This is somebody we all need.
Until you're late, but yes, we do.
Georgia Power.
What's up, Georgia Power? We friends. Yes, I'm late this month, but hey, how y'all doing?
Followed by the SAC Club, serving all communities.
Valine back there.
Whether you need flowers delivered around the corner or around the world, you know you can depend on Classic Florist and Home Decor. Classic can make any occasion special, anniversaries or birthdays, sympathy, or just thinking of someone. What better way to brighten someone's day than with a beautiful bouquet of fresh-cut flowers or a beautiful plant? Don't forget how easy the professionals at Classic can make those special days. Just give us your list for 2015 and you are guaranteed not to miss a holiday. Classic has it handled all year long. Classic Florist is not your average flower shop. See for yourself at Classic Florist and Home Decor, 913 Hillcrest Parkway in Dublin.
Tell you what, Valine, who's in the back of that car, she cooks a great pot of greens. She always calls me, I got some greens. She know I love greens.
And you always show up.
Huh?
And you always show up.
I show up ahead of time. She's just starting to clean them. She's like, they're not ready yet. Come back in a couple of hours.
We've got the EGB Transportation LLC. You can go anywhere in Dublin for $5.
Commuter van. And the Dublin District Churches of God in Christ Superintendent Ira Edwards Sr.
Followed by their district king and queen.
And don't they look lovely back there?
Do.
Then followed by the Holly Springs Baptist Church, where Reverend Joe Moore is the pastor.
This is God's Divine Vision Ministry Incorporated. Pastor Ricky B. Stanley and elect Lady Belinda Stanley there. Next up, we have the Most Excellent Grand Chapter, Holy Royal Archmason Jurisdiction of Georgia, Prince Hall Affiliation, John R. Smalls, Most Excellent Grand High Priest.
And my granddaughter was on the back of that truck.
I understand.
Taylor Chapman.
The FAB 24 Social Club of Dublin, on the move to stop the violence with love.
See, I held my composure.
You did a good job.
Got 2 more to come through though, so I'm gonna hold on here. Tell you what though, one of the things that the people here in the street need to understand, especially the younger people who sometimes don't even know who Dr. King is.
Sure.
They could not even do this not long ago. Couldn't even stand in the street. You know, now we have the freedoms, and if you look around, everybody's having a great time. They're taking this freedom for granted.
They do.
And it should be taken where it's just natural freedoms. It should be for granted. But not in the granted that you don't know what it took to get this freedom for us. So I hope that people are promoting and educating people about Dr. King and what he did for us, how he lost his life for us to have a better life throughout the ages to come.
And we have another dance team approaching us. This is Dancing Dynasty Club. Dancing Dynasty is a dance group organization that takes place at the local recreation Oconee Gym. They encourage their girls to be themselves and to give them that chance to be.
I tell you what, lots of dance groups are just sprouting up. I got a feeling next year we're going to have way more than this.
I have that same feeling.
Here's my challenge. Fellas, create a fellas dance group. Come on out here and let's show them what it's all about.
That I love to see. Next up, we've got Claire's Unique Boutique, located right here in downtown Dublin.
Then we have the Millville Baptist Church. Kevin R. Washington is the pastor. Then we have the Millville Baptist Church bus. So if you need a ride to church, just call the church, 478-676-3637. See, now this next entry knows how to ride in the parade. You cruise in a parade. You be seen. Not like, who was that?
Exactly.
Cruise.
And cruising by, we've got Shady Grove Baptist Church.
And we look forward to seeing this organization every year. The Masad Temple number 11, the Oasis of Macon. They always bring a lot of enlightenment to the parade. Another great thing about the parade is you get a chance to see people you haven't seen in a long time. I've seen a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. Sort of reunion.
Yeah, it always is.
You know,
Our
that might
annual
be a little
reunion.
something we might need to start in this week, a little reunion.
We've got a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do. But if anybody can do it, you can. You heard how I went to you, right?
I did. I like the way you deferred responsibility to me.
You got a whole year to get started.
Right.
And we have the illustrious Commandress, the Massaud Court number 174 out of Macon, Georgia. You know, the cell phones put throwaway cameras out of business.
They did.
I mean, who'd have thunk? You take pictures and check your emails and everything
there.
from your camera. Here we have Saxon Tag Elementary.
And their principal is Mr. John Strickland.
And that's Wakita Wright. Good to see she is back out over there walking with them. For you as an educator, I mean, what do you think when you see, I know you teach the older kids, but when you see the young kids involved like this, what's it like for you?
I think it's great because once they get to high school, they're accustomed to being involved in activities, which encourages them to be involved in high school. And a lot of times it keeps kids out of trouble.
When they get something else to do besides nothing.
Exactly.
That's important.
It is, always. Keep a child's mind, body, and spirit occupied.
I always like to tell people, another day you don't do something is another day you do nothing.
Exactly. And the Dublin City Schools jump rope team.
And these young kids have a lot of pride in what they do.
They do. They're under the direction of Mrs. Bonnie Griggs.
Can you jump rope like that?
No, I never could. It's not one of my strong suits. Could you?
No.
Okay.
Not my thing either.
Okay, we're even then.
Yeah.
We're even.
I think I tripped myself down immediately.
I know I would, especially at this stage of my life.
Heating unit got you down, short on cash? Then call the experts at the City of Dublin Natural Gas during the Great Water Heater Roundup. Right now, we can provide you up to 60 months at 0% interest on every gas furnace, natural gas tank or tankless hot water heater, or combination gas heating and water heating system. Your payment is simply added to your monthly natural gas bill. Plus, the City of Dublin will provide a free tank-type 40-gallon natural gas water heater when you swap in that old electric, propane, or older model natural gas water heater. You simply pay or finance your installation charge. Don't be left out in the cold this winter. Call today, 277-5048, 277-5048. Dublin Natural Gas. Comfortable and responsible, and right now during the Great Water Heater Roundup, 0% for 60 months.
Even back then, I was tripped myself.
No. We have Miss Saxon Heights.
Serena Plummer. And little Miss Saxon Heights, Zidiana Allen.
Followed by Pastor Jamie Pittman, who's the pastor of St. Luke Baptist Church in Dexter, Georgia. And this is St. Luke Baptist Church coming up next. has a lot of youth at St. Luke.
Next, we have the Cadwell Christian Fellowship Center in Cadwell, Georgia. At the center of nonviolence stands the principle of love. I love that.
I do too.
Next is the Marcus Street Neighborhood Watch.
They're being followed by Fort Valley State University Band. This is a new entry to the parade this year also.
And we are so excited to have them here.
Yeah, we always welcome new people to Dublin to our parade.
Hey, baby.
And the Dublin-Lawrence County Fort Valley State University Alumni Chapter.
Christian Women Rock Ministry. Their mission statement is to encourage women in their relationship with God through spiritual friendship, mentoring, modeling, and teaching one another that we might experience the opportunity for personal growth in the local communities and churches with the freedom to become all that God intends us to be. This is the Christian Women Rock Ministry. Followed by our area banks, Capital City, Citizens Bank, Farmer State, Bank of Dudley, First Lawrence, Morris Bank,
Atlantic South,
and one more we can't see. Community Bank.
Community Bank. Hey, we calling all those names out now. I'll be down there Monday, Tuesday. Might need a little loan. They said changing the game, state championship, motivation, determination, game changers. They sponsored that group, by the way. Changed my game with about a few dollars when I come down there. Yeah, sure.
Followed by Loving Ministries, Church of God in Christ, where the pastor is Elder Alton Jones.
Okay, I can be honest with you. I think we've even passed the 136 entry mark.
I think we have. Next up, the American Red Cross. Taking care of families in need.
You know, as a kid, that's all I came to the parade for was candy.
I wanted to see the bands.
Well, the bands and candy.
Yeah. Next up, the Mount Green Baptist Church, where the pastor is Reverend Joe H. Shinholster.
Immediately followed by the New Bethel AME Church Youth Department in East Dublin.
And their pastor is Reverend Nathaniel Veal.
I tell you, though we didn't have Savannah State Band this year, we're missing them. There have been a lot of bands, though.
There have been, but I think we have one that might be stepping up to take Savannah State's place.
I believe so. I can see them way down the road. I can't wait till they come up.
I can't either.
Right now, it's the Valdosta Baptist Church. Reverend John R. Sutton is the pastor. First Lady, Doris Sutton.
Followed by a landmark in Dublin, Thomasinner's Beauty and Barbershop, located on East Jackson Street. In celebration of life, also Dudley Funeral Home.
Unsurpassed service since 1922.
Followed by Dublin Commander of the Rights, Roger L. Smith, President. Elbert D. Blocker, Consistory number 368. Coming up, Dublin Rising, rebuilding Dublin one home at a time. Approaching is the Twiggs County High School Marching Cobra Band. The superintendent of schools for Twiggs County is Mr. Elgin Dixon.
We take a close look at the science behind the 2015 Ford F-150. Today, we're going to be examining power, weight, and performance. We'll be shattering all kinds of misconceptions. Heavier doesn't necessarily mean tougher. Here's how we intend to prove it. This is the ultimate game changer course, designed to test what trucks are capable of. So there's the course. Now here's the truck that's gonna take it on. The 2015 Ford F-150, with a body made from a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy. We'll see what this leaner truck can do. All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go! The log road tests traction and torque. The poles challenge agility. Then, a sudden stopping test before the mud pit, an imposing test of the truck's power. The F-150 took down the course like a champ. But with a smaller engine than last year's model, traditional wisdom says this kind of performance shouldn't be possible. Well, here's how it did it. The 2015 F-150 2.7-liter EcoBoost delivers 90% of its torque at just 2,200 RPM, allowing it to dig deep sooner and power across the logs. When it comes to agility, the 2015 F-150 really makes its dramatic weight savings count. By losing up to 700 pounds, it now has a lower center of gravity. That, coupled with a wider track, improves stability and control, making this truck amazingly nimble around the poles. Thanks to the impressive weight reduction, the brakes can stop the truck quicker. There's simply less momentum to overcome when bringing it to a standstill. The new truck hits the mud pit at over 30 miles per hour and powers through without significant deceleration. The power-to-weight ratio of the 2.7-liter EcoBoost engine is a 13% improvement over last year's impressive 5-liter V8. As a result, the 2015 F-150 turned in a performance on this course much like you'd expect from some of the game's elite running backs. Now that's the definition of a game changer.
Remember, others call you customer, we call you friend.
Followed by Susie Dasher Elementary Rubies, Reaching Unique and Beautiful Youth Mentoring Program.
I tell you what, Twiggs County Band has showed out. They have showed out. We want to commend their superintendent, E. Neil Dixon, on bringing a lot of spirit to that town.
Exactly. Small band, big sound.
They are showing out here in the 21st annual Dr. King Holiday Parade in Dublin, Lawrence County.
I believe this is Susie Datcher Elementary School following up.
And the Susan Dasher Elementary Gyms, growing and educating, maturing scholars mentoring program.
It's a great program. Peachtree Fashions and Wireless, located right here in downtown Dublin. Also, Goodfellas Sports Bar and Grill. Up next, we've got St. Peter's Baptist Church, located on Martin Luther King Drive, and their pastor is Reverend Sean Curtis.
And we have next the Liberty Tax Service. Refer a friend and get $50.
Followed by OCMA, the Oconee Community Mentoring Association. The Juneteenth winners. The planning committee congratulates the oratorical contest winners.
Then we have
Farmers Furniture.
And that next person, I know exactly who that is. That's Southern Mecca recording artist, Nick Brandon from Dublin, Georgia, has a hit song in his hands called She Got It. You hear it on the radio stations here in Dublin, and you can hear it across the country on other different stations. That's Nick Brandon coming back home to say hello to people.
Thanks to you, I think Nick's going places.
Thank you very much. We both work very hard at it.
Yeah, I know you do.
We have been through a lot to get there.
And as evidence of these beautiful animals coming through, we're coming to the close of another King Day Parade.
Well, beautiful animals they are. And the great thing about watching it at home, you don't get to
you don't get the full effect.
The full effect of horses coming through a parade, I just put it that way.
Right.
But they're definitely here. I love riding horses, though. I actually bought one in Mississippi.
Not the ride for me.
Okay, this signifies the end of the 21st Annual King Holiday Parade here in Dublin, Georgia. I'm your host, Derek Chapman, along with
Monique McCall Blue.
And we want to thank Dudley Funeral Home, Services by Dudley, for our great backdrop. It's an official backdrop from the King Center in Atlanta, Georgia. And we want to do a tribute. First of all, before I do the tribute, I want to say to my co-host, you know my love and prayers have been with you. She lost her brother this year, Jarvis McCall, and we love you.
Thank you.
And our prayers are with you. She's a strong lady. And we also lost one of our great community persons. On one of these poles downtown, you'll see a banner about Hub Dudley, who was the first African-American. Not only was he just a millionaire, but forget about the money. He was one of the greatest businessmen ever in the city of Dublin. He owned hotels, he owned beauty barbershops, a bank, a general store, land, and so much. And we want to do a tribute to his niece that he raised as a daughter, who kept that history alive in Dublin, Georgia, because if it wasn't for her, the new generation would not know who Hub Dudley is. So we want to do a tribute to Miss Thomasinor, which is the proper way to say her name. A lot of people don't know, Pearson. And she served the community as owner of the Dudley Funeral Home, Thomasinore's Beauty and Barbershop, and Dudley's Retreat Cafe. She has served the state and county in various capacities, including as a board member for the following organization: the Georgia Governor's Council for Arts and Humanities, the American Cancer Society, the Dublin Communities in Schools, the Lawrence County Development of Family and Children's Services, and Three Rivers Home Health. She also served on the Blarney Stones as a member and chairperson of the St. Patrick's Festival Committee, which, by the way, let me add, she was the only person with true Irish descent, and a lot of people didn't know that. She also served on the Dublin-Lawrence branch of the NAACP and the Dublin-Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce, and she was a member of the St. Paul AME Church, where you attend.
Yes, I do.
And she was a faithful member.
Yes, she was.
And she's received numerous recognitions and awards throughout the years, including the Woman of the Year from the Dublin-Lawrence Black Festival Committee. We send this tribute out to Miss Thomasinor Pearson. Here's Mr. James Holder, who is the co-chair of this parade. Let's get you in the middle of Monique and I. And we want to say thank you. You've given me 18 great years of co-hosting this parade, and you've given Monique about 16 great years out of 21. That's not bad.
I certainly want to thank you for your dedication and coming all the way from Savannah to your hometown, and that's your loyalty, and we're glad for both of y'all. Y'all do a good job.
Absolutely.
Then we have a beautiful day. Then we have a beautiful parade.
What a wonderful parade. The weather was great. The people were great. I see a lot of my friends back there, Alan Robinson, April Robinson and the family, and so many people throughout the city.
So many, yeah. It was a beautiful, beautiful parade. We had some of everything today. We had people from everywhere. We're so happy to have all our support. It's getting bigger and better and better and better.
Absolutely. We want to commend you and the whole committee on another great year, 21 years. When you started this 21 years ago, did you ever imagine it would be in this capacity?
I knew it was a possibility, but I couldn't see it at the time. The very first one, it rained and was cold, but we went on anyway. And so this is results.
Exactly. And one of the things Monique and I laugh about every year is that the weather. We have been through some storms. We've been freezing. We've been warm.
Right.
We've been cold, but we said this year was another great year.
Another great year. And I want to introduce you to my Grand Marshal.
The Grand Marshal. Will we get him to come on over?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here at the conclusion of the 21st Annual Martin Luther King Day Parade with our Grand Marshal, Lieutenant Colonel Vincent O'Neill. Lieutenant Colonel, tell us a little about you.
Okay, I'm Vince O'Neill, and I live in Northern Virginia. Here, as Grand Marshal, this is my hometown of Dublin, as you know, and it's good to come back and see some familiar faces, and also come back and just share in the Martin Luther King celebration.
We're certainly grateful that you're here today with us. Give us your impression of today's parade.
Today's parade was inspiring, and I think that if nothing else, it brought people together in a spirit of unity. And today, you know, in today's world, there's a lot of things going on in communities, but whenever you have an opportunity to come together in unity, you can see the outcome is really great.
Exactly. From the time that you and I grew up, what has been the greatest social change that you've noticed?
Well, social change has definitely come to Dublin, Georgia, and it starts in the hearts and minds of people. And so people now are beginning to be inspired, encouraged to be a part. In this parade, you saw different groups. There were dance, there were bands, and there were outreach projects, sororities, fraternities. And so it's just an awareness that you see now where people really realize that coming together as, you know, in unity, you're able to cure a whole lot of social ills. And also, the other part of it is economic empowerment that is able to come about as a result of people coming together. And as you see, this square here, I mean, when I was growing up, they didn't have this square. And so it's just a result of people coming together, recognizing that we want to make our community beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for being our Grand Marshal today, and welcome home.
Thank you.
I am standing with, of course, my lovely co-host, Monique McCall-Blue, and Ms. Laura Irwin, a history-making woman all by herself. That's why Monique and I are all cuddled up with her. We're trying to get some of this history, some of this power out of Ms. Irwin. We want to thank you, first of all, for giving us such a great opportunity. You've given me 18 great years. You've given Monique 16 great years of your 21 years in this parade. You are the co-founder along with James Holder. Tell us, what did you think about this year?
This year has been outstanding. I mean, superb. We have had great participation, and we always appreciate what you all do, and we give our thanks to our TV personnel. They always do a beautiful job, and to our hometown people and our surrounding friends who come out and help us to make this day to be a success.
We just want to commend you and tell you, that this is all inspiring. What can people expect for next year?
Well, we are going to try to keep the ball moving just as we have done today. And let me tell you one thing that really gave us a boost. Our Assistant Chief Tim Chapman called and said the police department is going to put in a float, and it was outstanding.
Tim Chapman, who's that?
That's your brother.
We just thank you so much, Miss Irwin. And anything you'd like to say to people about Dr. King in general? We were talking earlier about how the people at the parade don't even understand. They couldn't even come to a parade back in the days as freely as today. What is it, young people who don't even understand or know what Dr. King is, what is it you say to them?
Well, I would say to them, first, I would like to say to the parents and to our leaders and all grown-ups, give these children a chance anytime that they have that they can come out to see something positive that Dr. King has done. And they appreciate it. I can remember when I was young, I would like to follow my father around to programs like this. And it stuck with me. And believe it or not, when I was about 11 years old, I went with my dad down in Baxter, Georgia, to an Emancipation Proclamation program, and Mr. Dobbs spoke. And I learned later on that Mr. Dobbs was Maynard Jackson's grandfather. Isn't that the man's name at the airport?
Yes, it is.
Well, Mr. Dobbs was the speaker for the Emancipation Proclamation, and I've always enjoyed what they had to say, believe it or not.
Incredible source of history. I just want to correct you on something. You said something about when you was younger. You're still a young woman.
Well, thank you.
This is Miss Laura K. Irwin, my co-host Monique McCall Blue. We want to say thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next year at the 22nd Annual King Holiday Parade right here in downtown Dublin.